on the game show, we're going to be talking about cozy games. You know, the games that you play that make you feel nice and cozy inside. We're all define them just a little bit differently. For me, a cozy game is a game that doesn't ever feel like work. You can sit down and play it in a state of zen. If it's been a stressful day, you can just sit with the game and feel relaxed and have fun at the same time. I know this isn't the traditional answer. Jess, one of our wonderful hosts, is a little bit more in line, I think, what everyone actually thinks of as cozy games. And she will have a rock-on perfect definition and games for you later, like Harvest Moon, Stardew Valley, etc. So without further ado, cozy games. What's up? This is BreakmanX, and welcome to the game show on March 4th, 2026. Welcome to March, Jess. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, actually. It's been a decent week.
Nice. Awesome. And Logan, also welcome to March. How has the beginning of March been for you? I'm going to say March 3 million times.
Doing okay. Watched some Charlie Chaplin and Hundreds of Beavers. I guess that was technically that's probably the highlight at the time.
Which Charlie Chaplin did you watch?
There was a collection of 3 short films.
Which ones were they? I love Chaplin.
Goodness. There was
Gold Rush?
no, not that one.
Modern Times?
Not that one. I'm forgetting the names. There was one about working.
Oh, was it the one where he goes through the gears?
Yeah. Oh, wait. No, it was the one where he's like on this construction site, and at one point, like, lunch is going up and down an elevator, and he has to come home from work and gets back at 5 a.m. because he misses the last.
You should watch the movie Chaplin from 91 or 92. My great uncle shot it, and Robert Downey Jr. plays Charlie Chaplin. It's one of my favorites. And he's really good as Charlie Chaplin. So you should definitely check it out.
Cool.
But everyone, welcome to the show tonight. We're in March, as I said. Yay. Almost spring, thankfully. And tonight we're going to have a fun new topic. We're going to have cozy games, which I think I'm going to be the only one that is kind of breaking what a cozy game is. But we'll get into that in a minute. We're going to start off with some quick news, and since Jack Burton has been abducted by aliens, we will be starting off with Jess. Jess, why don't you go ahead and take us away?
So starting out with some cozy game news, as I mentioned last week, Stardew Valley had its anniversary, and Concerned Ape announced the new marriage candidates that are going to be coming in the new updates. And on the one hand, I'm kind of bummed by one of the choices, but on the other hand, I'm not, because it was the funniest thing he could have done. Because he chose Sandy, which felt like a very obvious choice and people were very excited for. And then he chose Clint, who is pretty consistently across the fandom regarded as one of the least favorite characters in the game. And so it was very interesting. I'm curious to see what he does with the story of it, and if there's maybe a bit of a redemption arc for the character. So on the one hand, I was kind of bummed. I was hoping for the Wizard or Marlin or honestly quite a few other characters over Clint. But I do have to respect the fact that he picked Clint and everyone's like, what are you doing? And so it was kind of funny to watch people react to it.
Nice. Always fun to upset the fan base.
And he like announced it on the stream that he did, which also, if you haven't checked it out, I highly recommend it. He goes through like all of the development of Stardew Valley and like where it started and how he got it to where he wanted it to be. It was really cool to watch.
So I actually watched part of that.
He gets to the end.
As
research, what did you think?
Research for this, I know nothing. I know very little about Stardew Valley, but I was really interested and I loved going through the history of it. It was very cool. I wish more developers would do videos like that.
Yeah, and I mean, it's such a crazy story, and the fact that it was one guy who like did all of this, and it was pretty much his like first big attempt at a game, and you can just feel, in my opinion, when you play the game, how much like love and care went into it. So I've always been a huge fan, not just because the game is amazing, which it is, but also just because of the story of everything that he put into making the game and what that means.
Well, makes me want to try it out.
But you get to the end. You should. I think everyone should. I have an upsetting amount of hours logged in that game. I own it on multiple platforms, and I think on Steam only I've got like 400 hours or something like that.
That's it?
And obscene amount, considering how much I've also played it on Switch and on Xbox.
It seems like a great Switch game. Like to take with you?
Kind of does.
It is. I'm really partial to PC just because it's such a, and I'm like getting into the topic already, so I might just cross Stardew Valley off of my list after this. But I'm partial to PC just because there's also such a phenomenal modding community that has expanded the game 2, 3, 4 times the size that the original game itself is. Which is also like amazing and insane.
Yeah.
So I'm a huge fan of it on PC for that reason. But it is a very good like portable, like it's like the definition of a cozy game of like you just pick it up, play for a little while. There's very little stress if you don't want there to be, and then you can just kind of like put it down. So it's one of my favorite games, if I'm being honest.
I love it. That's like one of my favorite things is for people to talk about their favorite games. So I'm glad that you're getting to talk about it. Fun to hear. Fun to hear.
But then he gets to the end of his video and he's like, he's got the new marriage candidates like written on a piece of paper in an envelope. But he like makes a whole like show of it, and you can kind of just like see his little like smile before he does it. And I'm like, oh, this man knew what he was gonna do to the fandom when he said Clint.
You know, good for him.
I respect the hell out of it. Honestly, it was very amusing.
It's his,
and I'm genuinely very interested.
The audience doesn't know what they want until you give it to them. So, it might turn out great.
It's very true, and I know he's going to add like heart events and like expand the story, and it could be a very cool thing. So I'm excited to see where he takes it.
For sure.
And if nothing else, I get to marry him, and then I can divorce him. So
there you go.
You know, there's fun in that as well.
Marriages come and go, divorces last forever. I got that from a divorce lawyer, so they were partial to that.
That's the most divorce lawyer thing I think I've ever heard.
Isn't it? No, she was a good one. So yes, thank you. We'll continue on through the news, but if you want to tell us what your favorite cozy game is, please post it down below on the YouTube video. We'll be checking them out through the week. I'd love to hear your favorites, how we're always completely and totally right, and maybe on the off chance wrong. Be great to hear. And if you go to BreakmanX.com, never ever. You go to BreakmanX.com, you can click Discord and join us there throughout the week. So please do. All right, Jess, go ahead and hit us up with a little game. Just a little game.
So I did manage to get through the entirety of Resident Evil Requiem over the weekend.
It's awesome.
It's not that long of a game, all things considered. It took me just under 20 hours to do it.
Okay.
But if you're not as much of an idiot as I am, it will take you less time. I might have missed two very big, important things in the first section of the game and spent like an hour, 2 hours running around, not sure where I was supposed to go because I missed a thing to get me to the next area. So that was on me. So it's probably, I would guess, like 16 to 18 hours for most people. It's so good. It's so good. It's so much better. I had high hopes, honestly, and it was even better than I thought it was going to be. The gameplay switching between the two was done so well, and it never felt, to me at least, like jarring.
Mm-hmm.
It made sense. It flowed. They balanced it really well, in my opinion. It was terrifying. It's got one of the scariest monsters I think that they've like pulled out.
Oh, nice. Is it the scary closet one that you see in the trailer, or is there a different one? Is that one? Okay.
Yeah.
Because that looks terrifying, and I'm excited to be scared.
Scary closet monsters are horrifying.
Mm-hmm. It's like...
Yeah. It's great. And it fixed, I think, you and I's gripe with 8, and that like 8 kept like cycling through monsters.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty consistent. Like there's a big monster that you fight throughout the majority of the game, and then like other monsters that like lesser bosses that like pop up that you have to fight. But you get to actually sit with the characters longer. There's some pretty great reveals. Most of the like nostalgia things felt earned. Like I was worried it would feel like nostalgia baity and like shoehorned in, but everything felt pretty good. Nothing really felt cheap, in my opinion.
That's so good to hear.
There was one moment where I literally like was like, what? And like threw the controller down and like was in like shock of the thing that happened. It was such a good game.
That's so awesome.
It's easily top 3 Resident Evil games for me now.
That's awesome. So I told BreakmanX earlier that you already beat it, and she was like, what? How could she do it with all that's going on? And then literally while we were talking about that, BreakmanX comes upstairs. He's like, I beat it. It's like, I just beat it. And while he was going through it, he was like, I think 4 is still my favorite, but this is probably my second favorite. But after he beat Requiem, he was like, I think right now Requiem's my favorite. So, and he's like not just a once player of them. He replays all of them except for 5 and 6, which I've told him don't bother, but he might eventually. But he's replayed all of them over and over and over again. So he definitely knows his Resident Evil.
I think I might agree with him. It's between 4 and 9 for me, and the thing about 9 that I think gives it the like leg up is that you've got the balance of the survival horror, like scary aspect. Because 4, Leon's just such a badass that it's not like that kind of scary. And 9 does such a good job, and it's such a good balance of you are terrified when you're playing as Grace. It is so scary. And they also do the thing where you can play first or third person with either, but they recommend first person for Grace to make it more scary, and third person with Leon to lean into the action. And it works so well, and you're so stressed, and then like you'll switch to Leon, and then you get like that moment of like being able to breathe, and you're like, okay, we've got the ability to like actually fight. And they like switch off of like it's very Grace heavy in the beginning and then Leon heavy in the end, so it feels like that progression of, oh, I've got the hang of this and I don't have to be so scared as the game goes on. They really nailed it. I was so impressed.
That's awesome. I'm super excited to play it. I haven't played it yet. I really, especially when I'm starting a new Resident Evil, I need like a good several hours because I don't want to start it and then stop it right at the beginning. The very first time I played Resident Evil 4 way back in the day, I had almost no time, and it was super frustrating to play it for just a couple minutes and stop. So ever since then, I try to have a good chunk of time. So spring break's coming up, so I'm hoping that will be my time to play it. I did pop in Resident Evil 4 because on PC, someone made a texture pack, or like actually like a whole. they actually went to like the same locations that the original development team went to get textures. It's like ridiculous the detail that these people did to get it. And it looks really amazing. Like I just played the first little bit of it, like the first 30 minutes or so, and I was really surprised at how much I'd forgotten from that very beginning. I hadn't played the very beginning for a while, like the order of things that happened. I'd kind of forgotten, so that was cool. But yeah, if you haven't played the HD pack, not the official one, but the one that you can download, and there's all sorts of things you can manipulate with it too. You can make it so it's not locked at 60 FPS. You can make it run in Vulkan instead of the standard API that it runs in. Like there's all sorts of tweaks you can do to it to make it like super cool. It'll make like the water look better. I mean, it's just really cool. So yeah, you should check it out. But I'm glad. I can't wait to play Resident Evil. I hope I have more to say about it soon. BreakmanX keeps wanting to spoil it. He's like, can I just tell you this? I was like, no, I don't. I can't, especially for that. I don't want. Some games spoilers aren't as important, but like Resident Evil, you can't.
Especially this one, because it's so tied to everything that came before it. Because we're with Leon, we're back with Raccoon City. There are things that are just going to be best if you could experience them as they happen and not have them spoiler. Yeah.
I'm stoked. I can't wait. I think it's like the best kind of Resident Evil. All right, so Max has written in here. Max, he said the only game that makes me feel kind of cozy or at least relaxing is Power Wash Simulator. That's a game that like I saw and I was like, I'm not going to be into that, but then I tried it. It is super relaxing.
It's great. Yeah.
It was on like Game Pass or somewhere I played it free, and it was really good. Like in terms of just chilling out. And then 8-Bit Moss Playa says, "Oh yeah, you should. It's just chill." Corey from My Life in Gaming was talking about how he didn't think he would like it, and then he like got super into it.
Think about cleaning.
Yeah, I've never been someone that likes to clean. I mean, I do it, but because I have to. 8-Bit Moss Playa says, "Have a good show, guys. Hope you all are doing well. See you in a month." Where are you going? Let us know where you're going. Hope you're not going to Raccoon City. All right. So jumping into my news here. So Sony is potentially returning to console exclusivity and not going to release their stuff on PC anymore. They're worried about sales of PS5s and PS6s. And this, I mean, it makes sense to me. I always thought, they're going to cannibalize themselves by putting stuff on PC, because if they want to stay in the hardware business, I think, But the thing that bums me out is now that, and I didn't get the 5070 to game on. I got it for editing and all that, but like since I have it, I was kind of looking forward to playing games on it. And if Sony takes that away from me, I'm gonna be a little upset. And diving into PC gaming, I used to be really into PC gaming, and then I'd kind of gotten out of it. But it's really cool. Like I was showing the Resident Evil mod, you can do all sorts of really cool things. There's some stuff again that's like janky, but like there's some really, really cool stuff about PC that I forgot how much I missed. So I would like the choice, especially since all the platforms are like the same now. If Sony was releasing like a PS6 that had some unique hardware that wasn't just a variation of everything else, but we'll see. I don't think they've decided for good yet, but looking that way. And then Windows 12. Oh. Yay. Windows 12. So Microsoft saw all of your critiques and all the reasons that people were leaving Windows, and they looked at their customer base and said, we are going to make Windows 12 everything you don't want and more.
I'm hoping that some of this is an outdated, because they made some comment recently that's like, we're going to try to change things, and this this seems like maybe this is stuff that, because they've been talking about Windows 12 for a while. This seems like the most concrete leak, but some of this stuff has been out for a while. So I'm hoping that some of this may shift, but it's still just so insane what this leak contains.
I saw that too. And with Windows 11, they're supposedly going to release some updates that are going to fix things and make things significantly better. But like everyone I know is switching to Linux. And like I said, I would if and I love it, but the NVIDIA broadcast. I use NVIDIA and their encoders, and that's really my last thing. But NVIDIA supposedly hired some people to work on the Linux side of things. So if that changes, that would be really awesome. But Windows 12, so it's going to be modular, so you can buy all sorts of different aspects of it. And to me, that means it's going to be super expensive, and you're going to have to go to the buffet and be like, oh, I want this piece, and I want this piece. They say it's going to be like, oh, you want the gaming stuff, then you get it, but you don't want this, then you get more choice. But I think it's going to be more about getting you to buy more things. It's going to be AI focused, completely centered on AI. And I think Microsoft's implementation of AI, for me, is the worst. When Microsoft 365 shows up, the only thing I want to do is close it. There's nothing about it that makes me want to use it. We're supposed to, for work, experiment with AI, and it's, to me, has been the worst one. The one that's given the best results, and again, I think generative AI and all that is stealing, but we've been supposed to work with it, and the one that I've seen the best results from is in Claude.
I've heard that from just people in general, that Claude seems to be the one that is doing the most. Yep.
Supposedly it's people that left ChatGPT or OpenAI or whatever it is because they disagreed with the way things were run. Also, ChatGPT made the deal with the Pentagon. So if you like privacy, ChatGPT is probably not the way to go, since they're allowing Pentagon to do whatever they want with all of it. Claude has supposedly rejected it, but I wouldn't expect any of them to be super privacy focused. But it seems like that one's a little bit better. But anyway, privacy focused. It's going to require a neural processing unit, which is going to lock out everybody.
Yeah. I don't know a single gaming desktop home build that contains an NPU.
Well, I looked up to buy an NPU. I couldn't even find I didn't look for long, but when I Googled NPU for PC, usually when I Google something like that, it gives up an Amazon link or a Newegg link, or there was nothing. They have to exist, of course. And I know they exist.
Maybe the latest high-end chips have some amount of some AI processing built into the CPU or something, but I don't know for sure.
The ones I saw were all mobile, and again, I didn't look an extraordinary amount of time, but the ones that I did see were mobile. And then I saw something about how NVIDIA GPUs might be able to qualify for it, but that wasn't a sure thing. But at any rate, I just think this is terrible. Windows, I go back with Windows to Windows 3.1 and MS-DOS before that. That was my first experience on computers. I loved Windows 3.1. I loved Windows 95. Windows 98, even though it crashed on me all the time, I liked it. I loved 2000. I loved XP. And then ever since Vista, 7 was good, 10 was good, but 8 and 11 are just horrific. And it seems like it's Microsoft just seems like they've lost the plot right now. And it makes me sad because we need a strong Microsoft, I think. Or at least some strong OS. Maybe some other company with someone young and hungry will come out with a new OS, or Linux will really take on things. But it's astounding how much faster Linux is on the same hardware than Windows. It's a ridiculous difference, and you can tell it's because of the bloat. And you get so many more resources to do everything else. So I don't know. All right, cozy games. Should we get into cozy games? Let's talk about cozy games. I'm excited to talk about cozy games.
Sure.
There's research, by the way, because I always like to throw in the studies. There's research about how video games are we knew this, but now we have data, a very effective way of combating anxiety, depression, and all sorts of negative things. So it's backed up by research. So let's talk about first what cozy games mean to us, at least for me, because I think my definition is going to be a little bit different. But for me, a cozy game is basically a game that doesn't ever feel like work. You can sit down and play it in kind of like a state of zen, like if it's been a stressful day, and you can just sit with the game and feel relaxed and have fun at the same time. And, you know, just like not have to think, like for me, and just experience. That's really what it's like for me. What about you guys? What about you, Jess?
No, I think that is a perfectly reasonable definition of what a cozy game is. I think traditionally what has like defined the genre is it kind of seemed to have started out as like a rebranding of like kind of girly games and like casual games.
Oh, I see.
And then it's kind of taken on its own kind of version. It tends to lean into things that are more kind of like sandboxy and have like a lot of like customization and like decoration options tends to be part of it. It tends to be kind of, I don't know, kind of cuter in design, and like the music tends to be like a certain atmosphere. But it's another one of those genres that I think has like become so oversaturated, especially with the success of stuff like Stardew Valley, that a bunch of things have just been like poured into it.
Yeah.
Farming sims have traditionally kind of been the face of that genre, and then like Animal Crossing-esque games is kind of like the stereotypical definition. But I know there's been like a lot of discussion online too of people being like, cozy games, it's not a real genre, and it's more about the feeling, kind of like your definition, which is what I kind of subscribe to more. Like for me personally, I like things that have like a lot of customization is like very like kind of cozy, because I like that creative kind of aspect to it. Either no combat or very easy combat, things that aren't gonna like stress me out and I'm not gonna be scared that I'm gonna die. Like again, to go to Stardew Valley, I think the combat in the mines is like perfect for that, and that there are like slimes and monsters that come after you, but they're not difficult at all to beat for the most part. For me, I tend to kind of sink into that coziness if it's very like story or character focused. It is kind of the realm that it lives in for me, but I think it's anything that when you play it, you get that like kind of calm, relaxing feeling, as opposed to a heightened kind of stress or anxiety that action or horror games tends to bring up.
Yeah. No, I like that a lot, and I'll get to you here, Logan, too. But doing the show for so long, back in the old days, people would have a stigma against games like The Sims, you know, and like Richie, when we would do the charts, there was a whole thing where we joke because The Sims were always number one on the charts. And games like Animal Crossing and things like that. And I've always liked all games except for phone games. I don't like phone games. But other than that, I like all games have beauty to them. And the only reason phone games tend to be that super monetization thing, at least the ones I've played. And what's nice is I feel like the tide has changed a little bit. And one of the things I saw, ironically, about the new Microsoft Games CEO was someone commented under it like, I bet the only game she's played is Animal Crossing. And the comment underneath it with a ton of upvotes was, what's wrong with Animal Crossing? I was like, yes, we've progressed. Because it doesn't matter, like it shouldn't matter. You know, I think if you really love Animal Crossing, which I do, I think it's great. All right, Logan, what's your definition?
Yeah, I think my definition is fairly similar to all of yours. And I mean, partially it's because I don't really have a lot of experience with traditional cozy games, but I just feel like cozy is an emotional word, so it's really any game that generates that cozy, not really high stress, comfortable feeling. And the games that typically do that for me are ones that have a creative element, whether that's customization or building, something you get to control and take care of. And that translates to the gameplay loop where the game is largely run at your own pace. You're not really feeling pressured to speed run or do anything like that. You can just do whatever you want and explore or farm or build or whatever the way you want to. Generally, yeah, those are the two main things that I look for in a game. There's not really a lot of restriction in the gameplay.
Yeah, I think lack of pressure seems to be our through line between all three of us. You know?
Yeah, I think it really is as a genre, kind of a pushback on this idea that, like, in order for a game to be worthwhile, it's got to be hard.
Yeah.
And that there's got to be, like, some level of, like, stress to playing it. And, you know, obviously I'm a huge horror game fan, so, like, I appreciate that. But, yeah, sometimes that's just not what you want. Like, sometimes you just want to be able to, like, chill and have fun.
Yeah.
And not be stressed out.
There's room for both.
And so, yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I used to, when we used to do the, like, have the comments, like, you know, people would write in comments about all these games and, you know, like, get good. The only reason you're playing these games because you can't play the other ones, which isn't true. It's not true. So awesome. Okay, let's get into our comfy games. So the first one for me has been a comfy game forever, for me, and that is Galaga, which is an arcade shoot 'em up, really old shoot 'em up. It's featured in the old movie War Games that came out in 1983, which is one of the, it's steeped in Cold War craziness, but Galaga for me is just a game where I can just not think. I have, like, the patterns are memorized, and anytime I see it anywhere, it used to be in Lawrence, it used to be in Papaquino's, and there was one in Buffalo Wild Wings, and I would always go in and just chill, and there's a rhythm to it, and even though it's difficult because I've played it so much, it just has that zen quality to it. So Galaga for me is the oldest of what I would call a cozy game.
Yeah, I think there's something to be said for the games where you can, like, get into that sort of, like, flow state. And it's not that it's not difficult, but, like, you just kind of, like, get into the zone and you can kind of just, like, zone out and it just works.
Yep.
And it's always, like, a really satisfying.
Yep. One thing I will say about Galaga, though, is if I mess up, like, it definitely takes me out of the flow state.
Yeah.
That's very true.
So in that aspect, you know, it can break the cozy gameness, but most of the time, like, it's very, very cozy and chill. So, all right, Jess, what's your first one?
My first one is gonna be Harvest Moon. It was one of the first, like, franchise of games that I, like, really got into, and I played pretty much all of them. But I think my favorite is probably the DS version, because the first one I ever played was A Wonderful Life, which was on the GameCube. And the DS version goes back to the same valley, and it's, like, the same, like, marriage candidates, but it's expanded and added a couple new ones. And I also really enjoy it because I also, especially with cozy games, I like when there's a little bit of, like, random weirdness or, like, chaos in it. And the funniest thing from that game in my memory is there's one marriage candidate that is a mermaid. And she washed up on the beach, and she now lives in a bathtub in the basement of the weird scientist in town. And he takes care of her, and she cooks him food in return. And that is the dynamic. And I didn't question it, really, as a kid, too terribly much when I was playing it. But looking back at it, I'm like, what? That was a choice.
Wild.
And so I like when there's just, like, that little level of, like, weirdness to a game as well. So that one's probably my favorite, but I've played pretty much every Harvest Moon game that there has been. And then Harvest Moon, there was like a schism, and it's now there's Harvest Moon and there's Story of Seasons. And the Story of Seasons is Harvest Moon. That's the original team, and that's like the actual Harvest Moon games nowadays. So if you're looking to play them, get the Story of Season games, don't get the Harvest Moon games, because the ones that are called Harvest Moon nowadays are very kind of, in my opinion, kind of soulless replications as opposed to the awesome stuff that the Story of Seasons team is doing. There's also been a lot of really great remakes of the old Harvest Moon games under the Story of Seasons. So I would urge people to go that direction. I've played like one of the new Harvest Moon games, and they're just not
the same.
You're going to get so much more out of the Story of Seasons.
I still remember the first time seeing the very first Harvest Moon in a magazine. And it looked like a JRPG to me, which I love. You know, everyone knows now. I love JRPGs. So and reading the review, it was interesting to me, and they classified it as a JRPG in the magazine, which we don't anymore. But I think it's interesting how Harvest Moon came out of that whole thing and then established something completely different, while still holding on to some of the tropes. I mean, you could definitely tell that there's some JRPG-ness to it still.
Yep.
So, but I love it.
And then there's Rune Factory, which is a fantasy Harvest Moon, which I would argue is a JRPG, because it's got much more of that like fantasy and like combat elements to it than the traditional Harvest Moon. I would still say that that's probably, I would call it a cozy game, but it definitely has a little bit more that JRPG route than a traditional Harvest Moon.
Cool. All right, Logan.
Yeah, so my first one, there's a few on here that I talked about in a recent episode. My first one comes back from the Flash Games episode, Balloons Tower Defense. This one checks a lot of boxes for the cozy game experience to me. I mean, the biggest one being, once you get to some of those higher levels in the game, that balloons popping sound is just one of the most satisfying things in the world. It's just one of the most relaxing sounds you can possibly get in gaming, in my opinion. And you've got the creative element of setting up your little strategy with all of your monkeys, popping balloons, and you're customizing the map with your defense plan. And I mean, it's not a terribly high stakes situation here. You're trying to stop balloons from getting into your tower, so like you're just playing with monkeys and balloons. It's not a real anxiety inducing setting, and you've got your bright colors, cartoony style, and especially if you play in co-op, it's a fun experience to collaborate with your friend building this strategy. So it's one of my favorite games to just relax and play. Like, I don't have to feel too much stress playing that game.
Why would I not want to play with monkeys and balloons?
Exactly.
Right? I mean, that sounds fantastic. So, Balloons Tower Defense.
Yeah.
First tower defense I ever played was the mini game in Final Fantasy VII.
Oh, really?
In the middle of it, all of a sudden you have to defend literally a tower. I had no idea what I was doing at first. But
I don't even really know where the balloons are going in Balloons Tower Defense. At least in 5, which is the one I typically play. Like, the map there's just an exit point. I don't know where they're going. I don't know what you're trying to protect.
There's no stakes.
Just popping balloons.
There's no stakes. Yeah. It's just comfy. Mm-hmm. It's just comfy.
Exactly.
All right. So my next one, I'm gonna say Pikmin for GameCube. And we've talked about this one a little bit on the show, but when I first played it, I was really disappointed because the magazines and things were hyping it up to be like Miyamoto's next big IP and like being like Legend of Zelda, and so I just had a completely different expectation of it. But then the next time I played it, and I was kind of just trying to take it for what it was, I really liked it. And there's the first few times you play it, I wouldn't say it's too cozy, because you're racing against the clock, and when those Pikmin die, it's really stressful and it makes you sad. Like it's like, oh, I've led them to their doom, you know. But when you know what you're doing, there's definitely a coziness and a zen to working with the Pikmin, like having them tear down a gate or build something, you know, or do the things they're supposed to do. You know, the death kind of ruins it a little bit, like killing the animals and like having them carry their carcass back to the onion and then, you know, make it turn into more of them. That's a little not so cozy, but overall, and the music in it is like so cozy. Like the soundtrack of Pikmin, sometimes I just put on if I need something to do work to or chill. And I'm gonna put the first one and not any of the other, because I like all of them, but the one that I play for coziness is the first one. Pikmin. So that's where I'm going with.
They are so adorable.
They are adorable. So, all right, Jess, what's your next one?
My next one, so I'm going to go ahead and skip over Stardew Valley because I feel like I've said my piece about that one. So I'm going to get into one that you have already mentioned tonight, which is The Sims. And The Sims really scratches that like creation customization itch for me. I very rarely, especially in like 4, do I ever actually play the game. I think Sims 4 especially, the gameplay is actually very underwhelming and I get bored of it very quickly. But I will spend hours building and decorating houses and creating and customizing Sims. And I've always loved that. I think Sims 3 is probably the best game for actually gameplay-wise. I don't know. Again, like I said, I like weirdness in my games, and it feels like 4 has lost a lot of that. But 3 was, I think, sufficiently like good gameplay, and I think still holds up really well to like modern gamers, while just being extremely unhinged at times, which is what I want when I boot up The Sims.
I like this pick. Again, this was a game that BreakmanX and I used to play all the time after the first one came out. And we've really only played the first one. We recently reinstalled. Maybe we should try the third one. We've never tried it. But there's something just really satisfying about that game. You know, they used to call it a god game back when it first came out, which, you know, I don't know if I would say it's as much, but there's definitely a coziness to it. Like, and
it depends on the way you play it.
That's true. We usually use the cheats and get all the simoleons, I think is what it's called, the game. And
yeah, I think most people do.
Yeah, and then build like an amazing house. And then her brother likes to like destroy them, which is also an option. But just building like an amazing like dream house type thing. It's kind of what we like to do.
Yep.
So.
Yep.
So that's it. Cool. Nice choice. All right, Logan, what's yours?
Yeah. So another game I've talked about a lot, Minecraft.
This is perfect. Yeah.
Yeah. Some people may disagree with me, but like Minecraft, the beauty of it is that you can play in any way you want, right? And admittedly, your first night probably won't be terribly cozy if you start a survival world, but if you don't want that, just play creative or peaceful mode. But Minecraft, you can build whatever you want, and you're literally not rushed to do anything. There's nothing pushing you towards beating the game. In fact, like if you look at statistics on Bedrock, most people haven't beat the game. It's like less than 1% that actually have. Most people just like to completely immerse themselves in the creative aspect of the game, and it's an unlimited potential. Like if you want to build a building made entirely out of like wool, like the most flammable thing ever, you can go find a way to do that. Build the tallest tower in the world, you can do that. Like the world's infinite, so you can find as many resources as you want. And there's nothing stopping you. And some of those tasks can also kind of fill the feeling of the flow state. Like if you're trying to collect a lot of resources for a build and you're just mining for hours, sometimes that's just the most relaxing thing ever, as long as you don't break the rule of Minecraft and mine straight down. Like, you're good.
Yeah. No, nice choice. I've been trying to get our youngest to try it because I think she'd really like it, but so far she won't. But yeah, Minecraft. Go ahead.
If she ever needs Minecraft tips, or anybody you know needs Minecraft tips, hit me or Aiden up.
Okay. We will. No, I've always loved the idea of Minecraft. I've never been able to get into it. The South Park of it, I love the South Park episode about Minecraft. You have to think like a kid. You can't think like an adult, which is so true.
Yeah.
It's great. That's what's cozier than thinking like a kid. Got some write-ins here. So Sketchy Ceviche says cozy games, Klondike for me, very zen. And I looked it up. It looks pretty cool. Anyone else played it? Anyone played it? No.
I haven't heard of it before.
I have not.
Nope. There's a dog.
Oh, well, that makes it instantly cozy.
Right. And then Jack Burton writes in. Jack Burton, thanks for writing us from the UFO. He will return to us next week. We definitely miss him, so it'll be great to have him back. But Jack Burton says cozy games, Pokemon Go, and Picross. What a great choice. Picross 3D. That or Pushmo. I might have to add one of those to my list because those are both great picks. Both great picks. All right, so what's my next pick here? My next pick is Animal Crossing. In the GameCube version is still my favorite.
Yes.
We got the Switch version and it's good. It is good. Like, I'm not saying like that, like trying to slam it. Like, it's good. But there's something about that GameCube version that still just hits it, and it's so chill and it's so zen. That's a game that I can like watch because usually BreakmanX is playing it, and so I'll just sit and watch, and it's just watching it is chill. And I
feel like it has more personality than New Horizons does.
Yeah. It's an interesting. Well, I'm hopefully going to finish up my GameCube video here really soon. The next break pick on the GameCube launch. But the GameCube is such an interesting time period for Nintendo in general. So, Animal Crossing, so cool. Took up an entire memory card back in the day. Yep. I remember that. Remember memory cards? But yeah, if you haven't played Animal Crossing, I would recommend playing the GameCube one. Maybe Nintendo will eventually put it on the Switch too. The
DS games were pretty fun too.
Okay.
I liked those.
That's cool.
The Wii one, not so much. City Folk was not. It had some things I liked, but
Animal Crossing on a
skip
Wii
it.
just sounds a little weird. But Wii's a weird console.
You didn't really use any of the Wii capabilities for it.
That's okay
like, you
for
pretty
me
much just
because
used
I don't like the Wii
controller.
capabilities. I like the games on the Wii. I don't like the Wig.
Look, my first and only video game console for a long time was the Wii at my grandparents' house. And I was really good at playing Mario Kart with motion controls. And then I got a Switch and got really good at regular controls. And now I go back to that Wii and I'm like, this is terrible. I don't know how I used to do it.
I still like the Wii, but you know who I stood in line with to get the Wii was Maul.
Yes, hello, and I will have no one disparaging the Wii. I played the shit out of that thing, and it was fine.
Hey, look, I love Wii Sports and Wii Fit. Those are my favorite ways to play them.
Punch Out. I like Punch Out.
I enjoyed shooting a bow and arrow on the Legend of Zelda games in there, and pretending I was drawing it back.
Sin and Punishment too. Nothing to sneeze at either.
I don't know, man. I think for archery, I like that part on the what was the PlayStation, the iToy? Was that what it was with the double wands? Yeah.
That was your profile picture forever.
It was for that for a while.
It was you demoing the PlayStation Move at their booth.
Yep, that was a good time.
Yeah,
I don't know. I like the motion controls. They kind of got lazy with it after a bit. It started out, they were like, we're gonna explore this. so much cool shit. You know what? It's just now it's just a wireless controller. You know,
I like the games. I like the games with the waggle, where the waggle is like the key part, like Wii Sports, where it like really makes sense. Where I don't like it is when they force it upon you, and like The Legend of Zelda. Like that's a game I'd rather push a button because you're there forever. It's a million-hour game, and you know, doing this forever just gets really old for me.
Yeah.
But I think if it used well, and actually the Nintendo Switch Sports, we play as a family, and it does the motion control, and it's a nice evolution of Nintendo Sports. The tennis is particular. Actually, the basketball is pretty interesting. Soccer is pretty cool. So
nice.
Check
I haven't
it out.
played that on there. I have to check it out. I actually have really not done anything with motion control on that. And every time that I see a commercial where it reminds me that it's in the game system, I'm totally taken off guard. I always forget.
Yeah, I gotcha. All right.
Mario Tennis. I was just the Mario Tennis commercial just came up because I just dropped, you know.
Yes.
And I saw people like.
Have you played it?
No, I have not, and I liked the other one. You know, the GameCube and Forward, you know, whatever that one, and Super Strikers.
Awesome.
Yeah, very good.
Is the
blew my
Switch?
mind. I had totally forgotten.
Is the Switch 2 one? Is it forced motion control? Do you have to control motion?
No, I think you just can.
Okay. I'm okay with the option. I just don't want to be forced into it.
Yeah. Well, it's with Mario Kart. Like you can put it in a racer mode, or you can just button press.
Were you at the E3 where Miyamoto was showing off the Skyward Sword, and because of people's cell phones?
Yeah, and it didn't work.
Yeah, that's still. I was actually just telling my students about that. Like that'll always be so hilarious for me. Like Miyamoto's like up there, and then they're like the announcement. Could you please turn off your cell phones? The cell phones are interfering with the Wiimotes. Doesn't bode well.
I think we're all like, sure they are. Sure they are.
Sure. Right. Sure they are. All right. So we're talking about cozy games. I just talked about Animal Crossing. And Jess, did you talk about The Sims last round or this round?
Last round.
Okay. So now we're getting to your next one.
Yes. So my next one is Hello Kitty Island Adventure.
All right.
Which I had not gotten for a very long time when it first came out, because I have never been like a huge Hello Kitty person, but I'd heard all of these people, because I'm such a huge Animal Crossing fan, of like talking about how much they loved it, and if you like Animal Crossing, you would like it. And I would have to agree. It has a lot of the charm of Animal Crossing. You have a fair amount of customization, you have the ability to like decorate houses, but it also has the aspect that I liked on the GameCube version that I feel like we don't have so much in New Horizons, and they actually did more of it, which is that you have like quests and you can unlock different areas, and like there's a bit of a story progression, and it's nothing crazy. It's a lot of like fetch quest type stuff and like very, very simple, very easy, very chill story progression, but it's enough to kind of like keep you going and give you something to do in ways that like it doesn't feel like you need to like time travel like crazy if you want to play for a decent amount of time. But it's also like short enough, because it's like the Animal Crossing, and that like every single day there's like new things to do, and like you have to wait a certain amount of days to get to the next part of things, that you can like pick it up, play for 20-30 minutes a day, and like be done, which I appreciate and like fits into my lifestyle a little bit better nowadays with how busy I am. So I think it's a very kind of chill, cute, fun game that doesn't require a whole lot of time, but that you can like consistently play and feel like you're getting something out of. And it has kind of made me like a little bit more of a Hello Kitty fan, because again, I was like never into it as a kid. It kind of just like passed me by, but the characters are like really charming and cute. So I got into it more than I would have, and I have to appreciate the fact that they named it after the South Park bit.
Yeah, that name will always remind me of the South Park. Butters.
I appreciate the self-awareness, because they had to have been aware of it and made a conscious decision that was going to be the name of it.
That definitely makes me like it more. For sure. Sketchy
No
Ceviche
idea.
writes in, lol, I meant Solitaire, the card game. Okay, so I looked up Klondike for no reason. There was an Xbox Live card game where I wasted more time than I should. A Kingdom for Kefla. I liked when the cards went on the Solitaire game. Besides that, I've never liked.
I used to play so much Solitaire, like back in the early days of the computers, where like there wasn't much else to do. I would waste a lot of time on Solitaire.
I've just never liked card games, which is my defect because everyone I know likes card games.
I love card games.
Exactly. I'm the only person I've ever met that doesn't like card games. So I like, I don't like traditional card games. I used to play Magic and I like board games that have cards. And like video games I like that have cards that I'm like Bat and Kaitos or whatever. I just don't like, poker.
I should get back into Solitaire. That's pretty good at that for a while.
And it has the, as Breaks pointed out there, it has the best ending of any video game, right? So,
Well, I used to play physical Solitaire a lot. Full deck of cards.
When you can just throw them in the air yourself.
I mean,
toss them across the room.
With a little bit of LSD, they definitely could. That would be the best experience.
There you go.
No.
There you go. It's an additive. There's a mod for you.
Real life mods.
Oh man. So Hello Kitty to LSD. Now Logan, what's your next pick?
Yeah, so I'm gonna throw in a wild card here. I'm gonna say my next one is the Chrome dinosaur game.
Okay.
Because see, look, this game is here to comfort me when I don't have internet and need to be getting something else done. It's there to distract me from my Wi-Fi problems. And it's kind of the same effect as like Balloon Tower Defense, where you've got this cute little art style with like the pixelated derpy looking T-Rex, and the gameplay loop is not hard at all. It's just engaging enough to keep your mind off of the fact that your Wi-Fi is broken.
That's cozy.
Yeah, no, it's amazing. I love that it exists.
No, I've not played it, but I was looking at it. He looks like it would be on like a original Macintosh.
It does.
That's what he looks
like.
That's what he looks like.
You've never played the Chrome dinosaur game?
No.
That's crazy.
That's wild.
I don't know if I had. Let me look this thing up.
I had to Google it.
If I have, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's just there. Like if you lose internet and you're using Chrome, it appears. You just press space and the dinosaur.
I also don't use Chrome usually.
Oh.
I'm more of a Firefox.
Oh yeah, I didn't know this could turn into a thing. I guess I just kind of forgotten that. Yeah. All right. Yeah, graphically it reminds me a lot. Like you said, early Mac. Yeah, this is a lot like Choplifter.
Yeah.
Yeah. The good old days.
Well, Maul, so cozy games. We have a pretty loose description of it. Basically, anything that makes you feel cozy. We kind of lack of pressure is our through line. Although I picked Peakman, so Peakman has some pressure. Are there any games? Do you have a pick maybe for a game that makes you feel cozy?
Well, actually, I was gonna bring one over first because you have kind of a wide open definition.
Yeah.
This is the first one that came to mind. We'll kind of get into some more like official genre picks in a bit, because like the cozy game genre is its own just cottage industry. There are hundreds of them out there now. In fact, I was actually looking at a list of like best cozy games coming out this year, like back in like January, and there were just like dozens of the damn things all coming out and getting in our desire for coziness and escapism and all that. But Russ, in the meantime, lifted over from last time I was on was the best RPG games. I ended with one. We're going to start with it this time and go back into the Mother series, or Earthbound in our regards, because that has such a small town feel to it. Well, I grant you, like by the time you get to the end of the game and you're fighting against the big blobby what the hell is that thing's name? The big alien final boss guy and Porky.
I'll look it up. Keep going.
Yeah, it's like I want to say Lamagra, but that's Blade.
Gigas.
Gigas, okay.
Yeah.
Gigas and Porky.
Why?
When you get there, it's actually a little creepy, right? But everything up prior to that, it is like, even though it has a dark sense of humor, you're fighting against cultists and crooked cops, whatever, it still has just this really like muted color aesthetic, really relaxing. You never really feel like you're in a lot of danger. And it really tries to appeal to like small town charm and like a kid's eye look at like what like the outside world kind of looks and feels like and everything.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know, it just makes you feel wholesome. And when you go back home and your mom cooks you a hot meal, and that's how you replenish all your hit points, you get a good night's sleep in your own, your own bedroom, and you ride a bike around town. It just, it's just a nice, relaxing RPG.
That's a good choice.
Yeah.
That's another one I can remember, like the first time Shadow showed it to me, and he was like trying to describe it to me. It sounded really boring. Because I knew nothing about it, right? And talking about like a bunch of kids walking around and like, your mom. It just sounded so mundane to me. And, I was used to like RPGs where it's like all super crazy over the top anime type stuff. But it's great. Like that game is cozy to the core and it's so fun. So,
yeah. No, it's like 4 kids just walking around, but it's almost like an RPG that takes place in your like imagination, right? Because like so many of the enemies are just mundane things, like a parking meter, a traffic light, a car. But what if they grew a face and came after you, and you had to hit him with a baseball bat? It's really, maybe he's committing acts of vandalism. I don't know, but it just is, it's just all in his head. It's really fun. It's a nice, lighthearted experience, and everything gets like kind of heavy towards the end. Same with Mother 3. If anyone ever gets a chance to play it, I know it's difficult to find a good localization of it, but like that one also gets into like world-ending apocalyptic stuff at the end of it, and has like some really kind of devastating character choices that you make. But the journey to it is light and fun, and just kind of takes you across, a brighter version of the world than a lot of RPGs offer.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with Earthbound. Great choice. It's too bad we don't get any more of those, except in Smash. Yeah,
I know. I keep hoping they'll put out like a, like a Nintendo Store download for the third one of these days. I don't know. Like, I know at the time they thought it was too Japanese and maybe a little too dark, but like after we had Undertale and it was a huge success over here, like let's just do it.
Like the same. I mean, it's not the same, but it's the same feel.
It's a spiritual successor in a lot of ways, right?
Yeah.
So it could definitely do it.
But yeah, the feel of Earthbound is really cool and really unique. So, great pick. All right, my next pick. This is honestly, of all the cozy games that I cozy, this is the coziest for me. Ever since I'd played it for like a little bit, but like anytime that I need like 5 minutes to just chill with the video game or relax, or whatever, or I'm stressed out, it's Radiant Silvergun for me. Like that is my ultimate cozy game. There's something about that game for me that everything about it just clicks more than just about any other game in that regard. It's kind of a bizarre choice because it is like a hectic game, but I've played it so many times now that I kind of pretty much know everything that's going on. And you do the thing where you have a save, and I have a save pretty much going back to when I bought my Saturn from you, Maul. so my weapons are pretty powered up after 20 years.
99 plus. That's your level now.
So I could also just like blow through it if I want to. So yeah, I would recommend. And then the music is great. It's like almost doesn't match for me because it's super orchestral and it sounds, it's the same. It's Sakamoto. It's the same composer as Final Fantasy Tactics, and it's from the same period, so it's like all the same instruments. But it's great. It's great. If you haven't played it, you should check it out. It's available on Steam and like everything now. Although the thing I don't like about the modern versions is that it was so designed for the Saturn controller and where the buttons are. And you push them for the different weapons and things. It has a very particular aspect of it that makes it zen for me. So if I'm going to play, I have to play the original because I've even tried mapping like a controller to the other versions. There's just something about it that's not the same for me. But yeah, Radiant Silver Gun. Oh, Sketchy Ceviche is back again. Oh, did I interrupt you, Maul?
No, just is complimenting the game.
Yeah, it's good.
Classic.
That's like the whole reason I learned how to mod consoles. Like I got the mod chip from Racket Boy and followed the like steps, and took me a few times. But that was.
I mean, yeah, that's one of the reasons to own a Saturn. Honestly, like.
Yep. And that game's so expensive to buy. Like I wasn't gonna spend $500 to buy it. Spend $1 on the CD burning. Sketchy Ceviche says, Mother 3, the ending of the first chapter is usually enough for me to leave the game alone for a while. And Sketchy, how many lives have you accrued on Radiant Silvergun by now? It's like uncountable. Like it's so many. And like the A weapon that's just the forward blast is like way wider than my ship now. It's just like a dragon's breath attack almost. So it makes me happy. All right, Jess, what's your next cozy game?
I think the next one I'm going to bring up is kind of more of a puzzle-like game, which is called Unpacking. I don't know if anyone here has played it, but it's a very kind of simple premise in that through several stages of this person's life, they have moved, and every time they move, it's your job to kind of like unpack all of their stuff and find places for it in their new location. And so like you start out in like their childhood like bedroom, and then you go with them to like college and like throughout all these different like parts of life.
That sounds like a pretty cool concept.
I saw a video on that, I think. That's why it like tells a story through the small details of their items, right?
Yeah.
Okay, excellent.
It's so well done. And like is genuinely like if you're like paying attention to the story that's being told, and it's so well done because like the premise is so simple, but like there are some things that you don't take with you when you move, or specific things that you do bring, or some things that maybe there isn't room for in the new place. You go from like a bigger place to a smaller place for certain reasons, and you kind of like put together the like life of this person based off of the items that they have when they move. And it's so well done. It's genuinely like very emotional. Like it's sad, and then it's like really hopeful and sweet at the end. And it was so much more than I thought it was going to be when like I picked it up, because I thought it was just like, oh, it's a simple like brain off kind of like puzzle thing of like dragging things, and there's so much more story to it. And I thought it was so well done, and I was really impressed with how small of a concept it was and how much they were able to do with it.
I want to play this pretty badly now. That sounds like a fantastic way to tell a story. Like I can imagine a short film.
I highly suggest it.
Yeah, and like as someone
it's so well done.
As someone who has way too much crap, like that's like would be the perfect way to tell my story. But no, that looks really, really cool, and I like that it's been done well. Which packing and unpacking is probably my least favorite thing to do in the universe. But the idea of telling a story with that just sounds so interesting to me.
Honestly, out of everything like I have on my list, that would be the one that I would suggest the most that people play. Just because it was such a... I got so much more out of it than I thought I was going to. I was very, very impressed with it.
And it looks like it's on everything. Steam, Good Old Games, Humble Store, Nintendo Switch, Xbox One, PS4 and 5, even iOS and Android. So, it's on Game Pass.
Oh, yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, that's how I played it the first time. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm so glad you mentioned that to me, because I would never, just from the box art, that just doesn't look like a game that I'd be interested in. But hearing the description of it makes me like very interested.
Yeah, I highly suggest it.
What a cool idea to tell a story that way.
Yeah, Breaking, just imagine your life being told through the story of all your boxes of excess cable.
Oh yeah, I've got a lot of cable. You know what though? I almost never have to buy one. Someone
and yet
sent
it keeps
me
growing, so somehow you do. I don't know.
Yeah, BreakmanX found this video of someone running to find. It was a tool, like running to find like the one tool that you needed. That was like an obscure, and it was like me with a cable, because like someone could be like, "Hey, oh no, I need that." I'm like, "Oh, I have it." I have it. Now, being able to find it sometimes is difficult, but I definitely have it.
Hey, that's a useful ability to be able to pull like any tool anybody needs out. The drawback is that you don't know if you're actually going to be able to find it in time, but like you have it.
Yeah.
I have a similar curse in that I have every combination of USB cable in this house, but I will never be able to find the right one at the right time.
Well, see, yeah, my nightmare is needing something, not being able to find it, buying it, and then finding it. Like, that is so frustrating to me. So I tried everything I can to avoid it. Sometimes I just give up. And with Amazon, you can just send it back if you find it anyway, like within, however much time. All right, Logan, what is your next pick?
Yeah, so my next one is a game known as Polytopia. Any Civilization fans, this is like that, but cozier.
Oh, I like it.
So it's got this little like low poly 3D art style, and you're just conquering the world. But you can play single player or multiplayer, and like it's definitely a much stupider, like stripped down version of like Civ or Catan or something. And you can just like explore this little world, like clouds will part as you go find new areas, and you can communicate with other empires and build up your little empire. And if you stop liking another empire, you can try to conquer them and whatever. And it's got enough. You've got the creative aspect with the building and everything, and you've got a little bit of combat, but it's never overly complicated or stressful.
Cool. That sounds up my alley. I've loved Civilization since I think the first one.
Oh yeah! Wow. I want to play more. I have 6. I've been curious about 7.
I haven't played 7 yet. I should play it. That was my game. And don't do this, chick kids. But when I had a class that was boring, that was the game I would play. Would be Civ.
Nice.
Yep, it's really good for that. Don't do it though.
Absolutely not.
It was all of them. Bruce just.
What about Maul? Do you have another choice?
I do. This one's pretty new. I haven't played it very much, but it caught my eye when it came out, and just a little bit I've played has been fun and cozy so far. Winter Burrow is on the list. If you guys haven't seen that one yet, it's very much in the vein of like a Don't Starve, where it is a like survival, like hunter-gatherer kind of setup. But whereas Don't Starve was more of a Burton-esque kind of quirky horror kind of survival, Winter Burrow is very much like trying to like capture the mood and the feeling of like that moment when you are outside during the winter and then you step into the warmth of your house for that, that first moment, and you just feel the cold kind of like tingle away from you as the heat gets absorbed. So you're playing as a mouse who inherits a home, and it's in the stump of a tree, and you have to. It's all like derelict and everything, and so you have to go through the process of rebuilding it by restoring everything in it with stuff you can hunt and gather outside. So you're outside gathering sticks, gathering rocks, using those to rebuild like your tool bench. You can put together a little hatchet. You go out, you can fight bugs. You can take their chitin from them and go turn that into stuff, and just extend your field, not only for safety but also because of the cold, which is your ultimate like worst enemy. So you have to build like better like coats and winter shoes and things to carry small fires and hot rocks and stuff with you, because you can only go so far before your body temperature meter starts to go down too much, and then once that hits 0, then your stamina begins to go down as well. Once that's out, you'll pass out and freeze to death. So you have to be very careful about how far out you get from your house, or you come back in and stand in front of the warm fire. But the coziest part is the way you build the house as you go. So it starts out being just like a wreck, and before too long you've got a cooking stove and a nice little reading nook and a nice comfy armchair. You build up the upstairs, you put your house up together up there, and build up bedrooms and everything, and just build up through the tree as you go. So yeah, just a great little exploration and relaxation kind of game.
It looks like it. I love the art style. The art style looks so cool.
Mm-hmm. Art style is very nice.
Like the best illustrated book.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a lot of like mouse guard stuff like that. I like that it keeps track of your little footprints as you go out between snows and everything. So you kind of see where you've gone, and follow your own trail back and everything like that. So it's just a lot of nice little details, and it's not. Well, there is a survival and combat kind of aspect, at least in the early parts of the game. It's not terribly punishing. You have to watch your body heat and everything, but it's not like, it's not like NES Ninja Turtles and you're running out of air under the dam or anything like that. It's not like giving you an anxiety attack at the same time, right?
Go through that ivy.
You can still enjoy your playthrough, even though there is a timer. It's not like brutal or unfair as you're going through.
Cool. Yeah, it looks cool. It looks very cozy.
I'm excited to hear that it's good, because it's been on my radar since it came out. I just haven't had the time to get into it, so it's nice to hear that it's actually like a really enjoyable game. Yeah.
Like I said, if you like, I don't know if you've played Don't Starve. Again, it's very similar in a lot of its mechanics, but Don't Starve was one where you were really punished. Like that game was going to kill you until you had like a perfect playthrough. It also had a much worse randomization issue where you would get like, here's your only viable campground. Oh, it's right next to like a giant buffalo encampment. You make any noise, they come running at you. Stuff like that. Like this has a pretty good setup. Your base camp is always pretty safe to start. And then what else you find as you go amps up the danger a bit more over time, but again, it's got a good allowance for your learning curve and your initial creation and everything.
Nice.
Cool. All right, my next pick is F-Zero for the SNES, and in particular, Knight and Queen League. Those are the first two, right? Yeah, King League is the hard one. King League, like that white land where you like have to do all the jumps is so stressful. But before that, those first two ones, again, I've played that game so many times since 91 when I got it. And there's something about the combination of driving the cars and the just perfect music, and just really knowing the courses from such an amount of time. But that's another game where if I have a little bit of time, that's a game I'll throw on. I love all the F-Zero games, but that's the only one I can play cozy. Like the N64 one I like it, but I can't cozy that one. The GameCube one, I definitely can't. Great game, love it, but that is like a anxiety festival of anxiety. It's so intense, and having to hit all those boosts and everything. But yeah, F-Zero SNES. Big Blue, Mute City. Those tunes are rocking. All right, Jess,
Man.
did you have something?
No, just reminiscing. I don't know if it makes a cozy feel, but those games definitely bring up a feel for sure. All the SNES era stuff.
Yeah.
It gets you.
It does. Right here. Jess, what's your next cozy game?
The next one I'm going to talk about is also a pretty new one, which is Tiny Bookshop, which is about what you would expect from the title, where you get to run this like tiny little bookshop that you're able to like pull on the back of your truck through this small town that you've moved to. And it's really fun because it has the mechanic of the people come to buy books and they ask for recommendations, and they're like, I want like a scary book with a historical like aspect to it. And you, having bought and supplied all the books to your shop, then have to go through and like find a book to recommend to them, and they're all real life books, and they're like divided into like genres, and you've got to like figure out, oh, I think this book would fit what this person is looking for. And so I really appreciate that as someone who also loves to read. And it's all like really well known books for the most part, and then like some like random obscure ones that tend to fall into like there's a travel genre, and I'm like, I don't know what any of these books are, but you can kind of like gather based off of the title of those ones. But it's kind of funny because like sometimes, a lot of the times I agree with whether or not they like what I've suggested to them, and sometimes I'm like, that was the perfect book for what you asked for, and you gave me like, that was okay, or like, oh no, that sucked and I don't want it. I'm like, but I nailed it. I know what that book is. But I like that it brings like the real life knowledge that you have into it, and it's a very like cozy atmosphere. The art style is amazing. There's a cast of characters in this town that you kind of get to know. You play out through the entire year, and there's different like festivals that happen each season that you can be a part of, and it's just a really kind of like cozy feel of you just like kind of curled up and surrounded by books in this beautiful picturesque. I think it's meant to be like a French town, like on the coast, and it's just the atmosphere is perfect.
Very cool.
Yeah. Another new. I definitely saw that some vids as well, and immediately piqued Haley's attention, as she's a huge reader as well. So that might be on our buy list as well. If you recommend it, might move it up a couple notches.
Yeah, I love books.
I've had a lot of fun with it.
It's pretty good.
Why does everything
like lemonade stand games?
Why does everything I like take so much time?
That's a good question.
Yep.
That's the only thing.
Very philosophical.
Thanks, Logan. That was perfect timing.
Hard.
And with the drink and everything, that was perfect.
Yeah, no, it's true. Like I'm trying to watch everything. I'm trying to do like an Oscar film rewatch or watch through for the best pictures right now. And on top of that, like we're finishing watching Berserk again. I want to have Haley watch Andor.
Andor's
Boys' final season's about to start. Yeah, I loved Andor. Especially season 2. I just finished and I was like, Haley, you gotta sit down and watch this. Like right now.
Very relevant too.
It will radicalize you. Yeah. Too much to do, too little time. Which I guess is an embarrassment of riches, that we have for all the media. That's good.
No, it is nice that I'd rather have too much than too little, but it's also super frustrating because I see so many things that I want to experience that I know I won't be able to. And then, it's the opposite when we were younger, where there was so much stuff to experience, but like I didn't have it. And so we just experienced the same thing over and over again. And now you can experience much more, but the time that you had when you were younger is gone to do it.
Life is cruel. I realized the other day how fortunate I am that I am an adult and I work in a place with a snack counter and every day I can have a candy bar anytime that I want. But they tell me I shouldn't eat those all the time. So, you know, once upon a time I could have.
Right? Snacks are good. Snacks are fun.
Crunch bars are my bane.
Crunch. Kit Kats.
Yeah,
like
Kit
Kit
Kats.
Kats.
Well, it was Kit Kats. I ate all of those. They don't have them anymore.
They're gone. They're all mauled.
we had a box of the big cat, and I ate all of them.
I was watch this thing about how like they've made all of the candy bars worse. Like Reese's no longer has cocoa butter in it. It has like vegetable oil, and like the Reese's Air is all mad about it because they're sullying their family name by, inshitifying the.
It's true. I mean, because
chocolate.
Kit Kats, which you love and I love, especially when they get the bag at Halloween, that's the normal, the white chocolate and the dark chocolate ones mixed together. Oh my god!
Oh.
Yeah, it's
But
5-star.
I went to Australia. In Australia, they have like 20 different Kit Kat flavors,
Yeah.
and like they're all better. Like even the normal ones, they're so good.
Yeah, it's really amazing because the other countries have like all the crap banned. So like like it's like Mexican Coke. We did a thing. We did
Coca-Cola.
We were curious like if Mexican Coke would actually taste better than American Coke, or if it's just kind of like a whatever. And it does. Like it's a huge difference. It's like a really big difference.
Yeah,
Not as much with
very much.
What?
Yeah, it's very much so. Yeah.
It's huge.
You're making me want to go to the grocery store and buy one right now.
Yeah, it's so good.
Close.
Like you get it real cold and you pour it in the glass and it's all doing the fizzy fizz and it's good. It's good. Also terrible for you, but very tasty.
Yeah, though, I will say that it's part of why Coca-Cola is like the top brand, though, because Mexican Coke is great, better than like American Coca-Cola. But in Australia, I was there, and all their soda is still natural, sugar, and they limit how much it is, so it's not like our corn syrup diabetic, coma in a can kind of thing. And
Death.
I will say not as good. A lot of them, like I liked like the Coke, because Coke there is similar to Mexican Coke where it's real sugar. But like most of the others, I was like, this is all garbage. I would just not be drinking soda as much if it was like lower sugar, real sugar for a lot of the brands. I will say though, I became a huge an addict for Solo, which is like a lemon, like basically a carbonated lemonade that they have over there.
That kind of sounds good.
It's so good, and it's really expensive to get over here. You can get so much other Australian stuff like imported, but I'm assuming because of where it's manufactured, like they can't ship that over for a lot. So the next time I go back, if you guys ever go out there, get a can of Solo.
I will do that. The one that is still good with like the diabetes in the can is Dr. Pepper.
Dr. Pepper's good.
Yeah, well, that's the real one, or the one over here. Yeah, diabetes in the can. That's great. The real sugar Dr. Pepper over there was garbage.
Bad. But that's the one I liked. I didn't notice a huge difference between the two. Dirty Dr. Pepper's also very good. All right, Jess, and we might be wrapping it up with your next pick here, because we're getting close to time.
I just went. It's Logan's
We're
turn.
We're gonna wrap up maybe with Logan then.
Yeah.
I got too into the soda talk.
Okay. I think I'm gonna wrap up here with Crossy Road.
That's a good one. I played that one.
Yes, I love Crossy Road. I mean, there's not a lot of customization, but you have enough with all the different funny characters you can pick from. That's satisfying, and to be able to collect the different characters over time, that's all you need, because the designs of the characters will do the rest. And otherwise, mechanics as simple as you can get. You just tap and slide, try to dodge cars. It's pretty much can't get much more basic, but you've still got
Don't die.
it's not terribly anxiety-inducing. Well, it could be as anxiety-inducing as you want, really. Like, you can go at your own pace. You could try to speed run, or you can just, all you have to do is make sure you're not sliding down below the bottom of your phone screen. It'll, like, nudge you forward. And I loved towards in the later... I was playing back when the just overworld, like, grassy map was the only one there was, and they started adding a ton of other maps, and that was kind of fun to explore. It's just a nice game to chill out and play.
Yeah. Finally, like a real cozy game that I've actually played.
Yeah. Now, bonus cozy game for the arcade people, Frogger. It's basically just the original Crossy Road. It's also very cozy. I enjoy Frogger too.
Also, my favorite Seinfeld episode, George and the Frogger. They do the overhead view, and he like goes across like it's the game.
Yes.
Very cool. Very cool. All right. Well, we're getting down to time here. So, should we let Maul just say his last pick real quick?
Yeah.
We can round it out.
Let's throw it out real quick.
Yeah.
Actually, I had a 2-in-1. But I was going to throw out Paper Mario / Kirby's Epic Yarn.
Ooh. Those are good ones.
Both of them. Yeah, nice games that are they're cozy because they are tactile experiences. Not only are they just like a decent platformer and a good kind of RPG light kind of game, but just watching the like the origami folds of Paper Mario, watching the playbook style scenes, fold and come down, and then of course Kirby, everything made of soft, fuzzy yarn that just like looking at it reminds you of your grandma's yarn basket the whole time you're playing and everything like that. And of course, neither one has a huge challenge level again, so you can just kind of like play through, enjoy the game, and just take in the world and everything. And those are both like super nice, relaxing play experiences.
Awesome. The Wii ones in particular for Paper Mario?
I don't know. I played the N64 one the most extensively. When that was like really fresh. That was one of the games that I would play a lot in college, and I recall blacking out to it quite a bit, which was fun because I was working full time and taking so many credit hours of classes that I was just like burning the candle at every end possible. 2, 4, I don't know. There was a million wicks on that candle, so I would just go for days, and I'd sit and play that game and cozy up and relax, and then I would just wake up at some point on the floor in front of the TV, and with the controller maybe still in my hand, and Mario just sitting there waiting patiently for me to finally do something on the screen.
Now that's a good one to end on. That is a good. I like that. The blacking out in college stress.
That's our college experience.
That's the college
alcohol
experience.
required.
Nope, just stress. All right. Well, Maul, what are you gonna be doing this week?
Well, 2 things of note. One, of course, the news celebrated the return of the game show after, many years, a device 20 years in the making. That was amazing. But also returning after many years is the card game Warlord.
Oh, wow.
Which I played this a lot when we were filming the original show. So this was from Alderac Entertainment, whose shirt I'm wearing here, maker of many fine games. Formerly Legend of the Five Rings, currently like Smash Up and stuff like that is theirs. But another company just licensed this off them and has brought it back. And the Kickstarter just finally fulfilled. So if you like different trading card games, definitely check that one out. It should be hitting retail this month. And I guess the other kind of big news is Haley and I got engaged. So
that's huge! Congratulations! That's awesome! Oh my god, I'm so happy.
Yeah. So
that's amazing.
It was when we went out on our trip previous weekend, Disney and Ghost concert and all that stuff. Just made it a bigger event. So
that's
awesome.
My
god, that's amazing. I'm so happy for you all.
Thank you.
That's so great.
So yeah, that's going to become a thing eventually. We're going to plan a little trip to Japan afterwards, but future state. We'll get there.
Totemo ii desu yo.
Nani?
It's very good. Very good. Big good. Big good. Big good. Well, Jess, good luck beating that one.
Yeah.
What are you doing this week?
Yeah, nothing anywhere near that exciting for me. I worked really hard last week to get stuff done so that I could binge Resident Evil over the weekend, and I got to do that, but that now means that I need to play a little bit of catch up to get back where I need to be for this week. So it's just a lot of writing. I'm working actually on a game-esque branching narrative type of thing, which I've never tried to tackle before and is going well, but I definitely have a hell of a flowchart currently, and it's only going to get more complicated. So that's kind of my big tackle for the week, of trying to figure out how to get all of the choices to make sense and matter and get about somewhere between like 4 to 6 different endings.
That's cool.
Nice.
I'm excited to see where that goes. For sure. And Logan, are you going to win any more awards this week?
Not this week. I'm waiting on hearing when the district competition for the last one is. But I'm chipping away at a few things. Like, I've been inspired by Hundreds of Beavers for my insurance cryptid script, so I'm poking some ideas at that. And I'm excited for that Blu-ray to show up because I ordered the Blu-ray. There's like 10 hours of BTS material, including like sober, half drunk, and drunk director's commentaries, and also like the whole movie in VFX breakdown form. So I'm going to have a fun time once that disc arrives.
That should be fun.
And probably going to do a little bit more editing on my latest short film as well, because I'm pretty close to having like a first cut of that done. I'm on like the Weird Vision segment now. So that's fun.
Cool. Yeah, one of my favorite BTS's is the A Perfect Circle one on the Emotion DVD, where Maynard's drunk dressed as Santa Claus backstage. Great. Lots of wine.
Nice.
Very Maynard.
But I'm going to be finishing up my GameCube launch video, which I'm pretty excited about. I think it's going to be pretty cool. I love the GameCube. I've loved the GameCube forever. But excited to get that done, and I'll see you same time next week on The Game Show.